What will you have after 500 years?
You, Dad. I still have you. Dad?
My name is landerthepander, and you're watching Disney Channel. Today we're going to be talking about me and my dad getting into a physical fight.
Let's talk about that.
I was thinking about doing a mukbang, but this pizza will attract a lot of mosquitoes, and I'm going to be talking about this outside in the park, so I'm going to eat this really quick. Yummy. Was that ore farming or what? What it is, guys, it's Lander or landerthepander, and we're back. I did, in fact, get into a physical fight with my dad, but obviously the story, it goes much deeper. There's a bit of backstory. I guess I have to explain my relationship with my dad. My dad is a good dad, all things considered. He's always been there for me. He's always done, countless things. He taught me a lot of things that I know, and a lot of the stuff that I carry with me, I can thank him for. I think the hardest part about, honestly, I should have worn mosquito repellent. Telling the story outside in a park because I can't really tell the story at home because I guess I'm scared that my mom or dad might hear me, but hopefully this doesn't take too long. I only get a few mosquito bites. I would argue that my dad, yes, he taught me many things, but he came across as a bully. There were many times where, his version of discipline was just kind of like cursing and being intimidating, kind of like making himself appear bigger around us when it came to me and my brothers. I have two older brothers. My oldest brother, he got it the worst. I remember one time my brother did something, pushed my mom or something like that because he was fed up with her, and my mom sent my dad to go and discipline him. It was physical, and it wasn't like a spanking or anything like that. It was, he threw a punch at him. I didn't even know that happened, but yeah, it was pretty strange. My middle brother, he kind of never had that issue. And then I came along, and I guess I did have a lot of problems with my dad because I guess I would say I was a bit rebellious at times. I would disobey him a lot, but there were times too where the reason for that being was because, let's say we were out swimming and I would start drowning a little bit and I would get back up. He wouldn't help me. He would just laugh at me, and I guess maybe it was to toughen me up. Thought that I could handle it myself, and I remember crying to my mom about him laughing at me. He got mad at me for snitching. Him and my mom getting into an argument, he hit me over the head. There was a time where he was teaching me how to vacuum. I wasn't having it, and so I went to my room and I slammed the door. He was really angry with me, and he started slamming against the door, open the door, open the fucking door. And the moment he opened the door a little bit, I was holding back as much as I could. He managed to get his fist in and just right here into my rib. More than anything, I just remember not being able to breathe, and he was about to slap me up. My older brothers came in and stopped him from doing so and actually protected me from him. I would always be a little intimidated about my dad because he was the enforcer if I got in trouble with my mom or anything like that. Things did kind of get bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say I had it worse than most people. I would argue that I actually had a better childhood than most. I was scared to be at home, kind of even right now, I'm scared to be at home talking about this. One could argue that I'm exposing my parents' stuff, but at the end of the day, I was the kid here in the situation. I was 16, 17. This is something that's been the root of a lot of problems for me, the reason why I was the way I am, but inevitably the reason why I ended up coming out a better person out of it. I'm not here to try and paint my dad in the bad light. I'm doing him a favor, but not that he really needs one. It's just more to my point of these stories that people can change. So growing up, I would watch The Walking Dead with my dad. We'd be sitting at the couch every Sunday. It wasn't just The Walking Dead that we would watch. I would get him to watch other shows. I had brought this up too in the I ruined my first relationship video. So it started affecting me and the way I socialize with people and lack of actually socializing with people. I mean, my dad is your typical man where they're bad at communicating their feelings, and English isn't his first language anyway, and he kind of just felt absent a lot during COVID, despite us being home a lot. Choosing to do this in the park might not have been the greatest idea, if only because there's so many cars. I'm trying to go for that, an authentic, real feeling. I'm sitting at the couch, and my dad and my mom have always had relationship problems. My dad's threatened to beat my mom or kind of made himself bigger to intimidate her and put her down, and oh gosh, is he about to hit me? And even me too. He scared all of us. It got really bad to the point where me and my brothers have also had to stand up for my mom against my dad. My mom's always accused him of doing something with another woman, but he's always denied it. And so it's already planted in your head. And so when I'm sitting on the couch, I have like my legs on his lap and I'm sitting down and I feel vibrations in his pocket. You know, that like pulse feeling you get when you get a text message. I see his phone is on the couch. He's not very smart with like hiding his stuff. Like honestly, it's like he wanted to get caught. And there would be times he would get up and he would like go into another room and claim like, you know, releasing gas or something like that. But I like kind of just peek over and I see like a flashing light on his face. His phone is still on the couch. I basically kind of figured out, okay, yeah, 2 phones, it's not a work phone, and he's being secretive. That really can only mean one thing. A lot of us wanted to be naive to it. I mean, I knew for sure. I don't know if my brothers knew. My mom would also catch him sometimes outside of our house talking to someone. I think she knew deep down what it meant, but she would turn a blind eye to it because we rely on our dad financially. She didn't want to see him with someone else in that kind of way. I think she really tried to pretend like that wasn't something that was really happening. Sorry, I just don't want the sun in Neil's eyes. My dad got COVID. He got COVID in 2020. He was isolating himself in the house in this one area so none of us got sick. He was living like a king. My mom was tending to him and he was playing Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. Next thing I know, my mom finds out by just walking in on him on the phone. He's sitting there on the couch. And then, like how I discovered it, one phone was on the couch and another phone in hand. She immediately knew what that meant, so she started freaking out and crying. She wanted to see the phone. He stuffed it into his pocket and he's like reacted like, huh, like what? Like gaslighting her basically, like, no, like that's not what you saw. Nothing's going on. Don't worry about it. I overheard this and I just knew exactly what it meant, and my mom's crying. Put on my shoes because I knew I was gonna need extra grip. I knew what just happened, and I knew I needed to like calm things down because it sounded like they were like getting physical with each other, not like hurting each other, but just like my mom's like grabbing onto him and she's trying to like know what's going on, and my dad's trying to get her off of her. And that's exactly what I walked into. So I go outside my room and I walk into the living room and I see my mom on the ground, kind of like how I am, like this, holding on to his pocket. My dad standing, he has a laptop in his hand, but it's like this, like behind him. And me and my mom thought the same thing because we talked about it afterwards, but he's trying to get him off of her because she just kept saying, I want to see the phone, let me see it. She wanted to get her hand on the phone. It looked like he was gonna, I don't know what the hell that was about. It seems like there was a fucking car chase going on. It looked like he was about to come down with the laptop on her head. The adrenaline started rushing, like, you know, my vision started going like really blurry. I guess some people say they see red. I didn't see red. I felt a lot of anger for sure, but I just felt that like sense of fight or flight. It was fight. So I immediately ran with all I had. My dad at the time, I mean, like I was like his height, maybe even taller, but I was like super skinny and no muscle, and for I didn't know how to fucking fight, to be honest. Honestly, it's sheer adrenaline. Push him down, we fall into a couch, and I just start wailing as hard as I can, and I'm screaming, you motherfucker, I can't believe you cheated on her, on us. Why would you do this to our family? And I just keep trying to wail, and I'm hitting him in the back of the head mostly, and I don't think any of them were really hurting. He managed to get up, and I'm still trying to like hit him, and he's trying to like, I guess, restrain me, but I kept going, and I even like remember kicking him against, like, he was against the wall and I kicked him. He like managed to grab me, put me into a headlock. Oh shit, he might break my fucking neck. I was genuinely like thinking he was like, this guy's gonna kill me and I need to get out of here as soon as possible. Trying to push myself out as much as I can, and he's trying to hold on and he's telling me to stop, and I managed to finally just slip out, and he went down, and I went to my mom, and now at this point my middle brother, and he's like, what's going on? He's not really helping at all. Like, he helped separate us, I guess. I mean, none of us know what to do, and I just like went over to my mom, and I remember all three of us were kind of just backed up against this like credenza we had there. I guess this is where my memory starts to like suppress or something, because it was, I guess it was what one would call traumatizing. I never saw it that way. I never thought like I had like PTSD about it, but because I guess it felt good to get years of like aggression out on my dad that would taunt me a lot and stuff like that. I finally felt for once in my life, this guy is nothing. He's not scary at all.
and I finally took down this Goliath. If y'all know that story, David versus Goliath. And I always just saw an intimidating threat. I kind of just looked at him and I was just like, you really are nothing. Mind you, of course, I'm kind of just feeling or getting in my own head about it, because if my dad really wanted to hurt me, he could have. He just was obviously holding back. My mom was saying, call the police. I was going like, stay the fuck away from us. And my dad was kept coming at us, and he's just like, no, come on, let's go, let's fight. Like, come on. And then my brother was like, all right, that's it, I'm calling the police. And then my dad was like, no. And then he left the house. But he did call the police, and the cops came, and we talked to the cops. And it might have been that instance where it was finally flagged down as like domestic case. So like, if we called the cops again and we reported domestic abuse going on, they would come immediately. So my dad disappeared for a few days. Meanwhile, he's just staying with this mistress. And I don't know how they met. They had been together for 5 years. He told my mom that he loved her to hurt her. I mean, to this day, I don't even know if that's still true. He definitely had some kind of attachment to her. Eventually, my mom's a very forgiving person, and I think too much for her own good. All of this started to strain me and her relationship. She was crying for days, and she felt lonely. Like, she didn't want to sleep alone without our dad there. I guess she folded, man, and he wiggled his way back inside the house, even though I didn't want it. None of my brothers really wanted it. We all wanted him gone, but she forgave him, and you know, he's back to living with us. I didn't talk to him for months, and then I did eventually start talking to him again, because I think I just had to, and I was just like, all right, like maybe I'm being too petty. I resented my mom a lot, because why are we living back with this cheater who makes us feel unsafe, gives us a lot of anxiety, and just causes problems for us and for you especially. Like, all you guys do is just argue all the time. Things were okay. They were okay for a while.
Until
2022, he was caught again with the same person. We kind of realized this guy, my dad, has an addiction to sex. It was just more so the thrill of, like, I don't know, like maybe getting caught, kind of like a Walter White situation.
Say my name.
Or again, like, he was just attached to his mistress and was out of the family again. And this was actually 2023 when we caught him, actually, now that I think about it, excuse me. And when we did catch him the second time, I remember, again, not talking to him for a few months, or at least during that summer. I remember, too, during that summer of 2023, he was disrespecting my mom. Even after the second time he got caught, my mom gave him another chance again. So imagine how that fucking made us feel. It wasn't fucking great. In fact, that pissed us off even more than the first time, because it's like, how many chances are you gonna give this guy? Well, my mom is very Catholic, so she's very forgiving. She would say this stuff like, oh, forgive 70 times 7, but it's like, bro, he's just gonna keep doing it. Cheaters don't stop. It's not a mistake, it's a fucking choice. He's choosing to do it, choosing to hurt us. He doesn't want to stop. But even after that, she still forgave him, because I love my mom, but respectfully, she's weak and she's weak-minded. Either that, she's the strongest woman on earth. It depends on how you look at it, to be honest. My dad was disrespecting my mom, and I went and confronted him, and I'm like, start respecting her, motherfucker. I'm saying this to you man to man, and it escalated, and my dad wanted to go outside and actually fight me for some reason. And I didn't even want to fight him at that point. I was just going off on him because I just wanted him to respect my mom. It's like in one ear, out the other. And then he had the audacity to claim that I would never hit you, son. And I didn't talk to him for a few months after that, because when I was in the 8th grade one time, and I was going to it was like a weird week before I was going to Washington, he got mad at me because I guess I was being a rebellious teen, you know, going through puberty. And he had also threatened to physically discipline me. Like, he said he wanted to hit me. Yeah, I gave him attitude, or the day before I gave him attitude, and then I was giving my mom problem. My mom was even like going like, no, you can't. And I heard that, and I was like, really, you want to hit me? And so we started arguing, and I told him, like, I don't want him to be my dad. He got really upset. If it were me now, I would straight up tell him, fuck you. But like, at the time, I was still a kid, so I was too scared to like really speak up for myself. But I remember my whole family being involved. But then again, after that, he said, I would never hit you, which I don't think is necessarily true. I think he really did want to hit me. Point proven, because he wanted to hit me again in 2023. And then he said he would never hit me. I messed up my tire, and I didn't know how to change a tire at that time, and so he came over and taught me when I was like on my way to school one day, and so that kind of like made us okay again. There's been, I guess, a couple issues between him and my mom, but honestly, all things considered, they've gotten better. And me and him, when we talk, like, we kind of pretend like nothing ever happened. I still remember all of it, and I guess part of him still does too, and part of him does feel bad and wants to change. And I kind of see that when we write birthday cards for each other during our birthdays, and he writes me a birthday card. He thanks me for like helping him change and wanting to be a better person, and that he's sorry for being a bad dad to me. He's sorry for all that he did. He wishes that I forgiven him over everything. I mean, I guess part of me at this point has kind of forgave him and I've moved on. That was all that kind of happened when I was like 19 and younger. And now I'm 22 and I look back and I'm just like, a lot of things could have been held differently on my side and from his side more importantly. I know my dad told us when he was a kid he had to stop his alcoholic dad from beating his mom. And it kind of just goes to show the cycle kind of continues, and that's why I've tried so hard to change me as a person. You know, I go to the gym, I go to therapy, I talk to people, I try to take my fish oils. Shout out fish oils, they help with your brain fog. Outside, try to embrace nature. I just try to do things to like calm me down. I think the only person that truly angers me is my mom. I don't trust her decision making a lot because she let someone like that back in our house. I think forgiven my dad because I see that he does try to change. You know, I have nephews and he has grandkids, and I see that he's like how he is with them, and it, you know, gives me hope that he used to be that way with us when we were babies. At least he has that going for him, and the way he treats them, he spoils them, and it's like it's his second chance of changing. There's definitely cheaters out there that are really bad and really toxic, and cheating is just bad and you shouldn't ever do it. It's sometimes not always black and white though. Just because someone is a cheater doesn't necessarily mean they are complex. Always a reason why they're making that choice to do something like that. Let me not say always, because there's definitely some assholes out there that just do it just because, just to be hurtful. But in the case of my dad, I will say he can be an asshole, but he's not just some asshole. A lot more complex of a person. Like, he's a bad guy, he's not a bad guy.
You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
Given our common theme of change, I do believe that he can change, and I don't think he's like cheating anymore. I really do see him trying, and there's a lot of areas in his life he can improve in, but at the end of the day, I think he has stopped. You know, he could obviously go back to doing what he was doing, but in my eyes, I would argue, despite everything that's happened, my dad has redeemed himself. You know, lessons are learned, and as for me, I've just decided to be better as a human being. Like, I don't want to continue the cycle and have my own kids and put them in a position where they want to physically fight me or have that aggression towards me. I want to be the best father that I can be, and the best husband I can be as well. That being said, guys, that's gonna end it here. Don't forget, by the time that this video comes out, I will be participating in the Doug Doug Challenge with 5 of my friends. So Sway, Derek, Alex, Jacob, and Reese. We are all going to an unlimited amount of fast food restaurants and eating whatever the person ahead of us ordered. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 6 hours straight. We start at 3 p.m. and we end by 11. I hope to see every single one of you that watches this video there. It's going to be streamed on twitch.tv/landerthepander. I hope you guys enjoy the story time. Next story time, we will be talking about my last relationship that mentally broke me. I just want you guys to know that every single one of you is loved. If you ever need someone to talk to, you can let me know in the comments below. I also have my Instagram linked. I have my TikTok link. Feel free to hit me up. Just take care of yourselves, guys. Your mind is your biggest enemy. You are your own worst enemy. Nothing changes unless you start to change. Key point, I don't care what. Why did that leave just hit me? If someone like my dad is able to change, you can too, guys. It's never too late to change. That being said, guys, it's been Lander the Pander. Love you all, guys. Peace.